Hi friends, I'm Anna Helman. I'm so glad you're here today. We're going to talk about embossing, but we're going to talk about a new way to emboss that I don't see people using embossing very often. We get stuck in the same way of doing things all the time. Today I want to share with you a little bit different way to do it. At the end we will chat and I hope to offer some encouragement to you today, so I hope you'll stick around. Most of the time when we're embossing a single piece of paper, right? So a lot of times we're just embossing a piece of cardstock. Sometimes when I step a little bit out of my zone, I'm embossing onto designer paper. Today, what we are going to do is we're going to do our layering for our card first. Then we are going to emboss it. So I have already done this with several other examples. We are going to do this one right here, and then I can't wait to share with you these other cards. So I have created this piece right here with this adorable Ocean Friends stamp and die set. I have really been having fun with this. It's so easy with the two-step stamping to create really nice stamped images and then die cut them out if you want to. So what I've done is I cut the lobster and the crab and these other die cut pieces, and I have placed them onto my piece of cardstock. I stamped a few bubbles there, and we are going to emboss this whole thing with the Soft Waves embossing folder. So I'll put this inside. We're going to crank this through here. This is my cut and emboss machine. I get a lot of questions about die cutting machines, and you know what? Do you ever use the wrong layers? I do this so often. I usually know what I'm doing. Today's the day I don't. Take that piece out and crank this through. But I love this cut and emboss machine. My old machine, I had a lot of problems with certain spots not embossing quite right, and certain dies that I had to run through 100 times, 100 different ways to get them to cut properly. Does anybody feel my pain? Anyway, I love this machine. I haven't had any of those problems with it at all. One time through does the trick. And if you want any information on it, I'll put a link in the video description below. So here we have this lovely piece embossed with the Soft Waves. Now let's turn this into a finished card, which is not going to take long at all. Just run a bit of adhesive across the back. When we emboss, we want to use plenty of adhesive since it's not laying flat on your card base. We need to get a little bit more adhesive on there to make sure everything stays where it's supposed to. And then I just have this simple little greeting to put down here at the bottom. So it just creates a little bit of a fun effect where all your pieces have that texture instead of just the background. So let's look at a couple of others. Now this first one, I didn't actually do any layering, but I just wanted to show the example of how I did my stamping first on the base, and then I embossed it with those waves. I thought this one turned out pretty amazing. I love these colors. I love this lobster, but I thought that one turned out really fun. And I have two more. So here's one where I just used paper scraps. So I used a piece of lemon lime twist cardstock in the background, and then I put several paper scraps on here. This was with the wavy edge was one that I had die cut and used the other piece, and this was left over. And then these others were just strips that I layered, you can see. And then after I did that, I ran it through the machine to give it that nice texture. And last but not least, here is another one. Here's that piece that I die cut to use with the wavy edge over here on the left side. And then I love the set actually coordinates with a designer paper pack. So I did not stamp this lobster and this crab. I actually just die cut those out of that coordinating paper. So 4 fun examples of how to do your layering and then you're embossing after your layers are done. Has anyone ever given you a compliment and you were just like, what? Like completely caught off guard, like, what, like in your head, something about yourself was one way, and then someone says something to you and it sort of changes your perspective. Like, oh, I thought I was not that amazing in some way, shape, or form. Friend, I just want to tell you today that you matter. You mean the world to someone. You probably mean the world to a lot of someone's. But I think when we don't hear continual feedback from people on different things, that it's really easy for us to program other thoughts into our minds, like, I don't know, messages from the world that tell us we're not thin enough, or we're not heavy enough, or we aren't supposed to have gray hair, or I'm not supposed to have varicose veins that I've had since I was in at least high school, maybe even middle school. Like all these things that, I don't know, the thoughts that end up in our head that we're not right, we're not good enough, all these things. You matter. And it would be great. We should start. This isn't what I was going to talk about, but it seems like a good addition. We need to start complimenting people, seeing the good in others. What can I say that is kind to someone else today? How many people can I say something kind to today? But all of this comes down to perspective. And when other people are giving us positive feedback, it's easier to keep our own perspective in the right place. But I had a moment the other night that one of these things, I was like, what? That I thought I would share with you. It was kind of funny and sweet. And yes, so my daughter was cooking. We're in 4-H mode, trying to get lots of 4-H projects done. I said, we're not going to spend the whole month of June this year doing 4-H projects. So we've been working ahead. She decided the other night she wanted to make soft pretzels for her cooking project. So there she is, a little busy bee, just doing it, not asking me for help. Besides the things there were a couple things she couldn't find. So busy little bee doing her thing, and I'm just cleaning up the kitchen and doing my thing. And over there she is, measuring out her flour, and she's spooning it from the canister into the measuring cup, because the proper way to measure flour is to spoon it in lightly. Now, technically, you're supposed to sift it. We usually don't sift it. That's too much work. But you at least want to spoon it in lightly, and so that it's not all packed in there. You don't want your flour in there. Whatever you're making is going to turn out hard and dry. I come from a long line of home ec teachers, so, you know, I was taught all of these things, the cooking and sewing things. So my mom and my grandma were both home ec teachers, so I dropped the ball. I did not carry it on. But anyway, so there she is, spooning her flour into the measuring cup. She's just like she's like the happiest little bug this whole time. And she says, the best cook in the world taught me that this is the right way to measure out my flour. And here's me. She wasn't looking at me. I'm like staring at her. The gears are turning in my head. Who is she talking about? No one else really helps her learn how to cook. My mom has a little, but I'm like, so I say, are you talking about me? Yeah. And then she just like goes on and on about how she loves my food. And so she's not still on this diet we've been on for so long. I'm still on the diet that started like a little over 2 years ago, but I am just like in amazement, because all I can make is meat and vegetables, and sometimes with some dairy in, and sometimes with some fruit. And like, here is the sweetest little human at this moment in time, at least, telling me I'm the best cook in the world. And it was, anyway, perspective. It's nice when we hear feedback like this. We're not always going to hear that feedback, but even when you don't, just remember you mean the world to someone, and probably a lot of someone's. It's all about reminding ourselves of these things and How often can we remind other people of the good things about themselves as well? Thanks so much for being here, friends. I hope you have a blessed day, and I hope you'll be back again next time when I'll be here helping you to hand make with love.